with a warning. I know I've got a few viewers from Europe. I gotta talk to my American people. So, feel free to enjoy this. We got some shit to talk about. Number 2, warning. Yeah, this is about to get political. Which I've never kept my political opinions to myself. I just haven't expressed a whole lot on my channel. If you go to my other social medias and follow me there, then you are probably well aware of my political leanings. But through my YouTube channel, maybe not so much. I get that. So, hi. Gonna start off by talking about Star Trek Day. This past Friday was Star Trek Day, 57th anniversary of Star Trek, 50th anniversary of the animated series, as well as 30th anniversary for Deep Space Nine, which kind of got ignored this year, but that's not actually the important part of this conversation. So let's take a step back for a second. And real quick to preface, yeah, I knew I was going to end up making another rant at some point soon. Didn't know it was going to be this soon. So, they started Star Trek Day 2 years ago. It was during the heart of COVID that it was the 55th anniversary of the show. They knew that they really needed to do something to celebrate the fans, celebrate the show, celebrate the actors who have been such an important part of Star Trek. And the 55th anniversary celebration on Star Trek Day that they did 2 years ago was actually quite delightful. It was hosted by Will Wheaton and LeVar Burton's daughter, whose name I am forgetting right this minute. She recently appeared in the 3rd season of Star Trek Picard. Not terribly important at this moment. They did a fantastic job. I enjoyed that Star Trek Day show. It was fun to sit and watch that and, see all of the stars from the show, and to even have George Takei there to say a few words about the original series. Of course, since then, we've lost Nichelle Nichols, who, during the 55th anniversary, is when we also got the announcement about the documentary about her that came out about a year ago now. It was, which if you haven't seen that, complete side note, has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but go see that. That was really good. Last year's Star Trek Day was interesting. They did things differently, but they still gave us a really fun show. They had some of the voice actors hosting from Lower Decks hosting the show. But it was the fact that they still did something. But coming into this year, I knew that it was going to be difficult, number one, because of the strike, this is the heart of the issue that I'm getting to. And I 100% support the writers and the actors strike that's going on right now. If you've not done the time to find out how much the these people have been screwed over. We'll get to this in a minute. I want to talk about Star Trek Day so that we can get into the issue and the unions and why it's so fucking important. This year, because of the strike, none of the live action actors participated. We're going to participate. I knew that up front. They announced that Jerry O'Connell would be hosting, which I love Jerry. In fact, on Star Trek Day, he was actually in Austin. A friend of mine, a guy I went to college with, he's an anchor on the Fox network station out there in Austin, and I told him, I said, I don't get jealous of you often, but you got to spend Star Trek Day hanging out with Commander Ransom. I was like, damn it. That was cool. And so yeah, and I have had the chance to interact with Jerry O'Connell on Twitter. It was actually when I posted pictures of the figure of Commander Ransom that I custom made, and he was so nice and tagged the other actors in my picture, and that was really awesome. I have a lot of respect for the guy. And I understood why he was going to be hosting the Star Trek Day event this year, because he's technically a voice actor, not a live action actor. So far, hopefully we someday get that Lower Decks live action movie. But the thing that I noticed, it was weird when they announced it a couple of weeks ago, but they never said, they said it was going to be on the 8th. What time? No time. Tuesday came, still no time posted. Wednesday came. So I just went to bed Wednesday night, not thinking about it, or Thursday night, not thinking about it. That Thursday they had actually released 2 episodes of Lower Decks, which had kind of been what was anticipated, because they were actually going to be showing the first 2 episodes of Lower Decks in like a dozen theaters around the country. None of them anywhere near Houston, of course. We never get anything nice here. But then I woke up Friday morning and I see that apparently they posted this 22-minute video at like 2 o'clock in the morning on their YouTube channel. And that was the Star Trek Day video. That was it. It was Jerry O'Connell cuts away for commercials, essentially. They don't show us really anything new for season 5 of Discovery, which is going to be its final season, which I've been vocal about that Discovery has not been one of my favorite shows, but I've come to really enjoy the characters, and to have that be sort of just dismissed feels kind of shitty. But again, this connects back into what we're going to get to. That they, sorry, some kind of crap in my mouth. Something I ate earlier, probably. They showed clips from almost all the shows and movies, and talked about the actors portraying the various characters and blah, blah, blah. And talked about it being the 55th anniversary of the animated series, and that they were going to be putting out these mini short treks or something like that. And I watched the first one. It felt like a Family Guy sketch. It was based around the joke of he says there's more than one way to skin a cat. Lieutenant Emrys, who's a Cation, who they look like cats, goes, "What's that supposed to mean?" Gets all offended, and it becomes a joke. Like, that part was kind of funny. And then they actually used the joke beating a dead horse. And they kept beating it and kept beating it and kept beating it. And people complain that the jokes on Lower Decks aren't funny. Anyways, and they're talking about go and watch the animated series and go and watch Lower Decks and go and watch these mini short treks. I'm going, you forgetting something? You are forgetting something. Or do you think that we're stupid and have forgotten that you actually made an incredible animated show that you just ripped away, and now you're actually trying to pretend that Prodigy never happened? What the hell? And I really do feel like that's the way that they're trying to treat the audience. That they're trying to act like Prodigy never happened. Everybody needs to get over it and move on. And that, as I say, Paramount can shove it. Can go F themselves. I'm trying to not get too much censoring on this video. I know anyways, there has never been a conversation come out from Paramount about why shit went down with Prodigy the way that it did. And maybe if they would just be honest and tell us what happened, I wouldn't be as upset as I am. But the fact that they are trying to completely whitewash and pretend that it didn't happen, make it disappear, ticks me off even more. Because it's the same thing that these executives are doing to the writers and to the actors. They're trying to act like, they're trying to make us, the audience, think that these people are not important for the work that they do. And I have always, since I was a kid, was told about how important the writing is. Without the writing, you don't have anything. You don't have characters. You don't have a show. You don't have locations and places. The writing is literally the most important thing. And I'm sorry, the AI cannot crank out anything that comes close to what these people can do. And it never will. Of course, the problem, one of the major problems that's been going on is that the producers of these films, they want nothing but these fucking formulas. And they make these writers, I've talked to some of these writers. Not the Star Trek writers, allow me to clarify. I do know people who are writers, not anybody who works on Star Trek, otherwise I'd be talking to them all the time and they'd get sick of me, that they feel like they've already been hand-tied by the studios to do very certain, very specific things, and being told that they have to do it for a penny a day. And I know that's an exaggeration, but this is why it is so important for unions to exist. And it's not just about the writers, it's not just about the TV shows. It's about Starbucks. I worked at Starbucks for over 10 years, all through my 20s. I was stupid. I let them destroy me as a person, physically. I've got problems with my legs, with my knees that I will probably never get better from, because I was told how we couldn't stop, working. We always had to be on the move and cleaning, and the bullshit. If you're lean, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. If you got time to run your mouth, you got time to shove. Shit's gotta change. You know that. And corporate greed is only going to make things worse. If you're on the right and you want to complain about Star Trek being woke, fine, I don't give a shit. Complain about it all you want. It's the producers, it's those executives up at the top that they are doing that because they think that's what's making the money. And here's the thing. I don't mind most of what you people are calling woke. I like it. Problem that's into when you're trying to make the substance of a show about nothing more than the wokeness or the PC or the diversity or whatever you want to call it, whichever term you're going to use, that you forget to write a story. That's what happened with Willow. Oh man, I'm so sad. The other day I saw on my Facebook memories thing the trailer for Willow season 1, now the only season, had come out, and I was excited. And then I started watching it, and the first episode was, and the second episode was kind of, by the end, I was forcing myself to watch it because the story was crap. It was simply making something to fill the space of the universe, rather than using the universe to tell a story that's important, that's vital, that says something. They weren't saying anything. It was just people doing stupid in the universe. People want to talk about what's the real problems with the newer Star Wars films? with the new trilogy? Let's start with the fact that it's just people doing more of the same stuff that's been done before over and over. That's why Andor was so good. Was because they had something to say. They had a really fascinating and interesting way of getting there. I'm hopeful for Ahsoka. We're only on episode 4 at this point. I'm a little 50-50 on it. And it's part of why season 2, for me, the overall of season 2 of Strange New Worlds was not as strong as season 1. Oh yeah, it had, the Lower Decks episode was fantastic, but that's because that episode had something to say. They had an interesting way of getting there, of telling that story. They put some really interesting ideas into it, gave you something to think about afterwards. Whereas a lot of the other episodes were just more of the, we're going to give you a thought-provoking aha moment, but the rest is just going to kind of, and I'm not by any means saying the season was bad. It could have been better. I think overall it was a little weaker than season 1 because they were trying more. This goes back to what I talked about before. I'm getting really mixed in all I'm talking about. But, sorry, I had a salad earlier and I'm getting cheese in my teeth, I guess. I need to brush my teeth before I go to sleep. Which I don't know if I'm going to bed anytime soon, but whatever. You want to see sick get better? For one, join a union. Join a union so that you have a collective voice to say something to the boss. Because as an individual, your boss doesn't have to listen to you. Oh, they'll definitely, oh, please come into my office, have a seat. Let's talk about what's on your mind. Okay, thank you. Now go fuck off and do your job and wipe the counter and make sure that you can make us $1 so that we can pay you a sliver of a penny. Because that's all you deserve. But as part of a union, you have a voice. You have to be heard. That's the first thing. Get your job unionized. Everybody needs to fucking do it. Doesn't matter if you work at a smoke shop or a Walmart. And then we got to get these old fuckers out of Washington. If you can't actually stand up and talk anymore, then probably time to go. Anyways, that's it for this week. I just go find Star Trek Prodigy wherever you can and watch it because it's a fantastic show. I think it's on Amazon now, which I know I don't like supporting the cards at Amazon either, but you should do that. And I'll see you next time.
If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Also, you can support the show by signing up on Patreon, or head over to Zazzle to pick up prints of my artwork, prints on canvas, t-shirts, and other merch. You can find me on social media. For more information and updates on the channel, all info is below. If you didn't enjoy the video, why are you still here? Do you want a song? Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, them, 3 bags full. One for the master, who can screw himself. You can listen to somebody else.